This is Greenstein. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Why are you at South by Southwest?
I'm here, first of all, promoting a panel, a guide to recording music online. But my real purpose in being here is to keep an eye on the ear to the ground and try to understand what it is that musicians today are looking for when they go online with their music. I want to understand not only what they want, but what's valuable to them. And so when they go online, is it to market themselves? Is it to find other musicians to work with? Is it to learn to play an instrument? Or simply just to be more involved in a new scene?
Well, those are a lot of questions, but what is actually the main thing why they want to go online and what's the best?
I find it's a mix of everything. Maybe to give you a little more context, I have a company called Bojam, which is an online music collaboration studio. We've built a web-based recording software that enables musicians to work together, record from different locations so that a guitarist in Los Angeles can record a track, upload it, and then 5 minutes later, someone in New York can record piano to that part.
Do a lot of people already use Bojam?
We're in an early stage still, so we're still building up, but we have built a technology that allows complex audio editing from the browser, and our next step is now to take that to the next level and of course go out and market and get communities of musicians online onto the site.
So that basically means that you do not need a complete band anymore to record music.
Right, you don't need a complete band, you don't need a complete audio software. Although GarageBand already comes on every Mac that's sold, still a lot of audio softwares are very complicated and difficult to use. We want to simplify that process and do it all on a web-based system so that someone can embed a mixer into their website and one of their band's fans can come to that site, check out a song in multi-track format, interact with that song, solo the guitar, mute the drums, turn up the vocals, and when they're ready they can plug in their guitar and they can record it themselves.
What kind of production quality do you get from a system like Bojam?
Well, the recording quality is in 16-bit, which is CD quality. You can record in a way where you can take a pre-existing audio track that you've recorded in GarageBand or Logic and you can upload that directly. Yeah. The quality is not the issue at all. The software itself can be very complicated, and to a lot of musicians, they've never gone in and recorded themselves. They never work with these softwares. So a lot of our challenge is to take something that's inherently complicated and turn that into a fun and easy web app.
Okay, that's very interesting. I'm very familiar with production and music production itself. I'm a Logic user myself. I've used Reason for years from version 1, and and there is this new format where everybody's kind of drawing towards this collaborative production process. It's the same as like a collaborative design process as well. This shared space, and it's interesting that you've jumped on this bandwagon of sort and come up with Bojam, and I'm just wondering does it really work to collaborate and someone becomes, or a group becomes successful and makes a hit record supposedly. How does it divvy up? How do you divide that reward or that status? How do you do that with a shared environment online? Is that a problem?
I'll try to answer your questions in order here. The collaborative model has proven to work in many different media formats. We've seen it in text with Wikipedia, we've seen it in software with open source software, and we've seen collaborative sharing and editing and rating in video sites like YouTube and Metacafe. We haven't seen it yet in music, which is interesting because music is by its very nature collaborative. Now, we haven't ourselves put out a hit, but there has been several bands that have worked together and never been in the same room. I know the Postal Service was one of the oldest bands to do this in a very old school way, in that they just mailed each other the different tracks and worked together to create their band, and that's why they call themselves the Postal Service. But we're seeing a lot of activity in the online music collaboration space where musicians are working together, they are creating good songs, and people are actually listening to those songs.
And so, about the successful songs, what happens there? How does it divide up the rights, the ownership of this collaborative success?
We use a pretty straightforward model. Everyone that contributes to a song gets an equal cut. If you get a little more complicated down the road, we can start having customized sharing and royalties. But a lot of what we're trying to do here and about the online music collaboration space is to replicate the ecosystem that has been created with record labels. Record labels originally controlled every aspect of the music creation process. You recorded with them, they distributed your music, they marketed your music. Well, distribution left when iTunes and Napster came along, and now that's moved to an online method. Recording now is getting cheaper and easier to do, and people have more access to audio recording software, so people are starting to record on their own. And now you've seen a plethora of sites that are rising up to distribute or to market that music, to track your fans, to send it out to your social graphs, your Facebooks and your Twitters, and then to tell the bands what are your fans doing, what are they listening to, and where are they listening to it. We want to, in a way, take these different pieces and make them all an online process in one entire ecosystem. So you would have musicians recording music, you could then distribute throughout the site into other partner sites, and then you can also do the marketing, whether it's through partnerships or ourselves. But to move this entire process online, that whole end-to-end solution, that's something we haven't seen yet.
Thank you. That's a brilliant idea.
Well, you've been walking around the South by Southwest now for how long?
I just got here yesterday.
Just got here yesterday. Did you met any artists or musicians that were interested in Bojam and working with Bojam?
Yeah, I had a conversation. I've been talking to John Wozniak, who was on a panel for Guide to Recording Music this morning. He's the lead singer of Marcy Playground. You may recognize the song Sex and Candy. Since then, after that song came out, he went out and did a lot of interesting stuff, started his own record company, and now he's out recording, and he just released a new CD. One of the interesting things he did with that CD is he took that and he put it on another online music collaboration site called Indaba Music, and he invited their community to remix the song. He then took the best submissions, and he said there was about 300 submissions, and he took and he listened to every single one. He picked the best ones. The fans contributed to the rating process, and they took that, and now they're going to release that remix CD onto a follow-up CD.
Isn't Indaba Music then a competitor to Bojam?
They are a competitor in the sense that we are in the same business, but in a space this early, there are no real competitors, because we have to prove that the model works for any of us to succeed. And I think that it's earlier enough that, and since there hasn't been a proven model yet, if you look at other industries, it's very easy to say, enterprise software, that's proven, it works. Advertising model around search, that's proven, it works. Online music collaboration is incredibly valuable because people love music, and there are over a billion musicians in the world, but we haven't found the right online model yet. So the tone that we kept in discussing it, and I spoke with the co-CEO Dan for a long time today, and a lot of what we discussed is how we can help each other understand what are the wants and needs of musicians so that we can find out the right way to monetize that. If we monetize that, if we all work together, hit a critical mass, then as the space develops, we can maybe then consider ourselves more competitors. But right now, we're all still in the exploratory phase.